G'day guys, well it seems that I've been holding out on you for a little while, so today I want to bring you along into my shed and you can check out my project car. So come on, let's check it out. So if you're new around here, welcome to the Torq YouTube channel. Those that have been around for a little while have probably already seen this car over here. It's my 1995 Holden Commodore Ute. It's got a supercharged 5-litre V8 and we've already done a video on this one. If you haven't seen it, I'll put a link to it at the end of this video. But what I did say in there is that with a wife and a child, unfortunately this one probably isn't going to be getting as much use as it used to. So I needed something that has more seats, more doors. So without further ado, I should probably show you my project car. And here it is. So there you go guys, this is it, my 1982 Holden Commodore SLE. Being an 82 model, that makes this what they call a VH vintage. So that's the model, VH. And this was a little bit special because these are the last steel bumper Commodores that they ever made. After this they went to a VK model which had plastic bumpers front and back. Some people will probably argue that this was the model in where the Aussie muscle car died because it doesn't have steel bumpers after this. Others will probably tell you that the Aussie muscle car died long before the Commodore. And I'll be honest, I don't really care. I don't really buy into that kind of thing. The reason that I have this is because, well, I just like them. This one here is a factory 4.2 litre 253 cubic inch V8 which had a 3-speed Trimatic gearbox and a small Salisbury rear end. That's probably all going to change and in the very near future. One of the reasons that I wanted to create a YouTube channel was basically to create some accountability for myself, if there was a small audience, to make myself push myself to continue making progress on the car. It kind of worked, it kind of hasn't, because I haven't really done much since I started the YouTube channel, if I'm honest. It's all been a little bit stagnant, and that's why I'm making this video. I'm going to make a start, and progress might be a little bit slow here and there, just with time and money constraints, but I'm going to be doing my best, guys, to make sure that this thing sees the road again. It was parked in Kalgoorlie in a shed for goodness knows how long, and that's where I got it from. It would belong to a friend of mine. I can't remember if it was his dad's or his brother's. Either way, they passed away, and it was actually difficult for him to sell, probably because it was in Kalgoorlie. But yeah, I ended up buying this one as a bit of a project, and yeah, let's show you what's under the hood. It might be something that you wouldn't expect. All right, so a few of you probably did expect that. Yeah, it doesn't have an engine at the moment. So I pulled the motor out. It was, like I said, originally a 253 car, but it did have 308 in it. So here is the engine that the car came with. Like I said, it was a 308 cubic inch engine, and I haven't really done much with it. It was pretty filthy. It's still pretty filthy now because it's just been sitting around, but I pulled it all down, put fresh gaskets, painted everything, and like I say, now it's just been sitting around and it's covered in dust again. But this motor will live on in the car to get it back to a running, driving, registerable state. That will have to happen after we fix up things like this. So we actually have pretty nasty rocker panels. On that side, you can see someone's had a dodgy attempt at a fix. That hole, though, has come from, look at that, it's all rusted out. Pretty nasty. That hole that was cut out on the other side is here. So I have had a sample cut out, and a local fabrication shop has bent some new rocker panels for me in that profile. So that will be getting replaced, as well as the engine bay. As you saw before, there's some plugs and stuff in there where we're going to be smoothing the engine bay out. So yeah, we're going to get rid of all of the unnecessary holes, smooth it all out, make it nice. Battery will be relocated to the boot, and yeah. As you can see, the interior has been pulled out. This one has the beautiful 80s indigo blue velour, which is plush as, but so far carpet, dash, all that stuff has been pulled out. The dash has a couple of cracks in it, which is pretty standard for these things, and we'll have to go to get re-vacuum sealed. Something that I'm not looking forward to paying for, that is. But the interior on this thing is actually really nice. Even by today's standards, it's a pretty plush interior. Back when these were new, being that this was the top level luxury pack of the car, it even rivaled sort of BMWs of the day. It had a full trip computer, cruise control, power steering, power disc brakes, air conditioning, you name it. None of which will be staying in the car. So a lot of people would probably be saying, Jeff, why are you starting with a nice SLE? Why didn't you just start with a base model? Basically, I couldn't find one, more or less. At the time, these are pretty thin on the ground, and it's only sort of recently that these have started to rise in popularity. But with that means the prices have also been going up. So I was very lucky to get this when I did at the price I did. It's going to be a long build, but I have already started some stuff. So let's show you, it looks pretty average on top, but let's show you underneath. All right, so while it's up in the air, we can kind of have a better look at that. Is the dodgy fix on that rocker that I was talking about before, and you can probably see the Swiss cheese a little bit better on this passenger side. That looks pretty eaten, but for the most part, under the car actually tells a bit of a different story. So you can see that I have already ground the whole floor pan back to bare metal and coated it in black Raptor liner. And you can also see there that the Salisbury diff is long gone, and it's been replaced with a VL Turbo Borg Warner. So it's got the VL Turbo rear disc brakes, It's also got the sway bar, panhard. Put new springs, new bushes, new shocks. And yeah, as well as up at the front, new rotors, reconditioned calipers, clean the K-frame, new bushes once again, reconditioned struts, all the things that you want to make sure that the car is nice and safe. Now, why did I start under here? Well, basically, I wanted to make sure that the floor pan was in reasonable condition. If this floor pan was in terrible condition, then this car probably would have been a bit of a basket case. I probably would have just binned the whole idea. But thankfully, the floor pan on this one is really good. So that was stage one. We got that coated and started making the car nice and safe before we started planning what the next move was. And well, that's where things, I guess, kind of start to get a little bit silly. I'll sit down and I'll tell you about it. So, what was the plan with the car? Well, when I originally bought it, I wanted to build the kind of car that I fell in love with. When I was a younger teenager, really falling in love with cars, I did fall in love with this early Commodore shape. I just really liked them. There was a lot of tough cars around that were based around that sort of car, and that's what I wanted to recreate. I think back to cars like Pro GM8, Boss VK, also VH308. In more recent times, you've also got cars like Weapon 383, Meth Fiend. They were all sort of built around that really clean, pro street style, tough street car sort of theme. And that's what I wanted to do with this one. So originally was to pull this motor out, which had leaking core plugs and old gaskets. That's all been redone. I was going to put maybe a stroker crank in it, but probably just some flat top pistons, solid flat tappet camshaft, maybe a shot of nitrous. Use the stock Trimatic, but with a shift kit, high stall, and then make that up to the Borg Warner diff, which is in it. Unfortunately, I've got some mates who want to push me to do better, be more, ultimately spend more, and make this car something really special. And also, I do have to keep up with my mates, like Rob with the Turbo Tonner, Kurt with his Turbo Commodore project, as well as a couple other guys that have got some really tough cars on the go. So, is my original plan going to cut the mustard? No, it's not. That was probably going to be an 11-second street car type of deal at best. Now we're probably talking low 10-second, probably 9-second territory. But I do want to try and keep it simple, and I do want to keep it true to that style that I was talking about before. So I've got a couple of things in the pipeline. What do you guys reckon I should do? Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think would be the ultimate combination for this VH. I do have some ideas on where I'm going to go with it, but I'll have to show you that in another video. But for now, like I said, drop a comment with what you think should be happening with this car. It's already, the things that I've made moves towards is it's going to be manual steering, no air conditioning, so it's going to be sort of bare basic. Let's keep it light, let's keep it fast, yeah, and see where we can really go with it. So that's it for now, I guess. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this introduction episode to my VH. Unfortunately, this isn't going to be like a normal build series where I give you an episode every week, because unfortunately time and money just won't allow me to do it. But I will be giving you episodes every time that I do make some progress on this car. And like I said, the YouTube channel for me is a way of keeping some accountability and making sure that I keep making progress on this car. We've got to get it going. So this motor does have to go in so that we can get it running, get it registered, and so I can take my kids, you know, to car meets and cruises and things like that as we go through in stages. So Thanks again, guys. Sorry if I've waffled on a little bit, but you know, this thing kind of gets me pretty excited. So until next time, we'll catch you around.